It's a lower body day for rugby players. If you want to get stronger and faster, follow along. First is a power snatch from the power position, although you could do these variations that I'm warming up with if you don't have the mobility, if you don't have the coordination for that yet. And this is how we warm up by actually doing the movement that we're going to do, just do it light. And that gets us moving, that gets the blood flow. Then we slowly increase the weights until we feel comfortable enough, until the nervous system going where we can go, yep, I can do it now. Whenever I do this in my garage, it just doesn't feel great. So it's kind of weird, but it's still a good way, gets my nervous system going, and then when I go to the gym, I know I can absolutely smash this weight. Because we don't want to build up too much fatigue that's going to affect the rest of the workout, we're only going to do 2 working sets of your 3 best reps, and then we're going to move on. So if you're not getting the weight you want this week, then just move it on. Get to your strength work, don't cause too much fatigue, get over it. Moving into our Romanian deadlifts. So with these, at the moment, we're doing a 4-second tempo and a pause at the bottom. So make sure you start light, know what your weight's going to be, and then just build your way up to the weight that you're going to do. If you actually really want to get strong and fast, then loading your weights is critical. If you load too much, even though if you could do it and you really struggle, then it means next week you're probably not going to be able to beat it. And the whole thing is every week you want to be able to beat it. So I take RDLs or deadlifts fairly conservatively. I do a 2 rep in reserve. That means I could do an extra 2 reps every set. And that way every week, if I just add 1 kilo or even half a gram, then I'm going to build up through the year to have a way stronger RDL, and I'm not going to get that plateau that many people get. Now we're going to also do this with a broad jump. So a seated broad jump, so you sit down and you're going to jump as far as you can. You're going to do that for 2 reps. And you're going to take your time in between reps. So I try and take about 10 to 15 seconds in between every rep. That way I can actually produce as much force as possible. And that's what I'm trying to do in this. And so we're actually going to take long rests. So in between the RDLs, we're going to take 2 minutes. Then we're going to do the broad jumps. And then we're going to do another 2 minutes. So in between the RDLs, you're actually going to have 4 minutes. It's good to get a good brace, right? That's going to help protect you. It's also going to help you lift more. Okay, and that's one of the biggest things. If we can get you lifting more, we're going to activate more muscle, okay, higher threshold motor units, and we can grow more muscle. We can get you stronger faster. Okay, so when you brace, it's to pull up through like you're holding onto a piss. You're pulling up, and at the same time, it's like you're holding on like you're going to do a shit or you're going to poo. Okay, so that's what it's like. And so you want to breathe in and you pull up at the same time. And then you're almost combining those 2 pressures together. And then you're going to get a really good brace. Okay, and so when you do that, you want to do it as you sort of go. So I've locked on. I'll take that breath in. And at the same time, I'm pulling up like I'm holding onto that poo, holding onto that piss. Okay, and then my head is back, not up. Head is back, not down, back. Move on to your front squat. So you still want to get a warm up in. I did 60 kilos, then went to 100, 110, and 120. I stayed at 120 for my 2 working sets. And the thing is, we're going to try and keep our sets down so we get less fatigue and we still get the strength. So this is just 3 sets of 3 at a 5 RM. So you're going to have 2 reps in a reserve. Now, once again, that is key for you to get the growth properly, is to actually set your weight well. Reverse Nordic, because this is a home program, we don't have a leg extension at my home gym. What we're going to do is do our eccentric work for our quads using this, okay? And I just snapped the band. Well done, Pat. Shouldn't have been using an old band, should have got a newer band. Anyway, you want to slowly lower yourself down. This is actually good for your mobility in your hips too. A lot of people can't do this. And when you're coming back up, you'll see my hips come up a little bit. You want to try and keep your body as straight as possible. This is going to build up your quads, and the slowness on the way down is actually going to help out your change of direction. I was getting a toe cramp here, if you can see that. Once again, I don't want too much fatigue, so we're going to do 1 set until failure, as many as you can do. That just might look like your hips coming up first, like I just did there. So my hips stay back and my body came up. That's failure. Then we have our farmer's walk. So this is a single arms farmer's walk. I really like these. You're going to do 2 sets, 10 meters each way, and then build up the weights. So this is going to help out your core. It's going to help with your coordination. It's also going to develop your grip strength. So I'm going to finish it off with 2 sets of Nordics. So what you're going to do is lower yourself down as slowly as possible while trying to keep your hips as straight as possible. This is a big thing. People will bend their hips. I'm actually going to show in the next video. If you put your hands by your side, it's actually easier. And if you put your hands over your head, it's actually harder. So that's something to keep in account. If you're particularly weak here, then I would say do this before you actually do the RDLs, because the RDLs, everything else is going to fatigue you. So what you want to do first in your workout is actually what you want to build up the most. Don't be afraid to have rests in between your actual reps like I just did, because that's going to get you the best results out of everything. Is performing quality reps, okay, and minimizing fatigue. So this was my warm-up set for this. You can see how I bend at the hips first, okay? Because I'm getting warm. I hadn't done that movement for a while. I haven't done Nordics for months and months and months, actually. I've been doing other movements. And so just doing it again, I was like, okay, yes, I can do this. And you see if my hips are bent, I can get back up quite easily. Most of you won't have one of these in your home gym, but if you can get one, do it. It's amazing. Great for your posterior chain, great for your lower back strength, great for your sprinting. So get one of these. If your gym has one, use it. So this is one example of one of our lower body days. I've got more to come. Generally speaking, this one will be used in the off season, okay, so where we have the most recovery. Please like and subscribe to our channel. If you want to check out our programs, go to rugbydevelopmentcoach.com.